Registration is now open for both of my spring camps. I run Tejas Sports Academy, a sports academy right here in Sylvan Lake. Currently, I have registration open for my spring basketball and spring football camps. You can go to Tejas Sports Academy on Facebook for all details, including registration link, costs, dates, times, etc. Tejas Sports Academy on Facebook.
Most of us hero game plan for football, but won't financially plan out our lives. 1 in 4 Canadians are unable to cover an unexpected expense of over $500. This is due to Canadians currently having concerns over things like debt, cash flow concerns, retirement concerns, and possibly even job security. And for some of the young Canadians out there, they always wonder on what does it take or what does it look like to get started. My name is Omari Fraser, and I've been in the financial services industry for just shy of 10 years. I'm fortunate to be in a spot to where I'm able to help educate fellow Canadians on what you can do to move forward and get yourself in a spot that's going to take you to your financial goals. Feel free to reach out to me at 403-467-2306 or reach out to me on Instagram to get the conversation started and taking a look at what a financial plan looks like for you. Take care. Enjoy the episode.
Welcome to Alberta Football Uncensored. I'm your host, Tej Johannesson. With me, as always, my co-host, Omari Fraser. Omari, we are exactly 1 month away from the Alberta Football League season getting kicked off. We're a little bit behind on our podcast with our season previews, but we're going to start pumping them out probably 2 a week and then one a week and then 2 a week until we get through the teams. We'll see if the team out of Edmonton wants to join us this year. So Edmonton, if you want to actually come on the podcast, reach out to me. I'm not reaching out to you. So if you want to come on, you can reach out to me and we'd love to get you guys on here and talk about your season as well. Omari, we've got a couple exhibition games coming up. Bucs are playing the Gators in kind of a controlled scrimmage type situation this Saturday. So in 2 days, and we've got a unique situation with the Calgary Colts junior team playing the Airdrie Irish. And I know you're going to attend that game as an alumni. So let's talk a little bit about that. Like, what are you expecting from that Colts Irish in a really kind of, I'm really interested to see how that kind of goes.
It's gonna be a good game because I can imagine now. I'm gonna speak to it as a Colts alumni and like as a player who's going through that, who's going through like the spring camps and you're trying to prove your worth and prove to the team and that you want to get picked because it's definitely a jam-packed weekend and it's great because I always felt as a player I really made sure I instilled my value as a player on those scrimmages. And now you get to like add, I guess, take away the element of, I guess, against your own teammates versus, hey, this is now another team. I get to now show that kind of game-like experience of, okay, like this is a person I'm not going to see here on Monday after for film review. Like I'm just going to go hard, show my worth, show everything I can do. And I think it's going to be a great game for a lot of those young players coming up to Colts and everything to really show what they can do. Now, as I look at it from, I guess, an AFL as a whole, like it's gonna be a great time just for representation of talent, just with what Airdrie has as one of the top programs. I know they've been going at it, since basically the since the finals, they basically kept going. So they're definitely in the top form to be going against the Colts, where they got the youth, the speed, and everything. Well, Irish are going to come in being a very well ran, oiled machine. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun to see how they do. I'm interested to see, what I'm more interested to see is I guess, how they're going to align. Are guys like Shaver and Josh, like are they going to be going like majority of the game? Or are they really going to let some depth guys go and see and just really just trying to see now where how does Airdrie Group 1 go against maybe Colts Group 1? Because obviously both teams are going to know, okay, these are our starters. We're not going to play. We're not going to be playing our starters that long. Like they're going to get 10, 15 plays. Hey, that's it. Cool it up. You're done. It's going to be those two, threes. And in this case now for the Colts, because they're going to have bodies. Like you're going to have at least 80, 90 bodies. So like you got team 4 and everything. So I think that's where it's going to be interesting to see. And then for those players who don't see, this is now where it's good that it's it's good that it's Airdrie, but as well as a Wolfpack hat on, it sucks that it's Airdrie because it's one of those things now where I'm like, hey, for those players who don't see themselves making the junior team, like, hey, look at men's, and this is now where I want to try and steer them towards the Wolfpack. And I know I'll say it's selfishly for us, but of course, hey, AFL's here as a whole. This is a great place to develop yourself and then go to junior if you need that extra time to develop. But a lot of hats
Yeah,
there.
I think yeah, and that's what I'm excited about too. I think getting exposure to the Alberta Football League is the most important thing, that this podcast has been trying to do. And a game like this is going to do that because all those kids on Calgary are going to realize that there is an opportunity to play football after junior. And whether it be with and I think even though they're playing the Irish, I think it benefits the Wolfpack. I think it benefits the Gators because, like you said, you're going to have, 80, 90 kids on those Colts, and not all of them are going to make the team, So those are players that can then go and hone their skills at the AFL and then try to make the junior team the next year. Or they're going to be kids that graduate after this year and are going to need a place to play. So I think it's phenomenal for the Alberta Football League to get involved in that. So props to Anton and the Irish out there for setting that up. Moving into our season preview this week. So we've done the Irish. We're moving into my team, which is the Bucs this week. So I'm excited about this episode to kind of talk about us. With us joining the podcast today from the Bucs, we have fullback / running back / sometimes middle linebacker, Tony Morelli. Tony, I wanted to have you on the podcast because I met you last year, and you're quite a personality. You're someone I really enjoy being around, and now you're stepping up as part of the leadership of the Bucs. And I think you've done a lot of really good things for the Bucs. And I kind of wanted to. I think you introduced yourself to a lot of linebackers and D linemen last year, and so they definitely at least know who you are, at least what you're about. But I wanted to introduce you to the rest of the league. So thank you for joining us. I
Yeah,
want
thanks for
to basically.
having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. So give me because you have kind of a unique story. You haven't been a football player for a ton of years. So tell me your kind of football story. I think maybe you said you played in high school, but then you were
Oh,
rugby. So
teach. Let me go way back to where this
yes,
all began.
please. Yes.
So, no, man, I was no growing up. I played high school football, but I was like a butterball. Like I was my mother's special little boy. So I was just this big fat kid that he had dreams of being athletic, but it was always out of like arm's reach. So I was a offensive guard, but not a good one. And then I hit my growth spurt, and it never really stopped. But I think every lineman has the kind of jealousy of like wanting to touch the ball that we always just want. I mean, even you'll see it in practices, man. Anytime the
Yeah.
ball's sitting idle on the ground, some fucking lineman is gonna
Yeah.
run up and grab it just to hold it in their
Yeah.
arms.
Or
And
beg for the guard around. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They want it, So I
Yeah.
wanted it, and so I played some high school, but then rugby kind of came along, and rugby they let me touch the ball.
Yeah.
So then then I went over to that side, and I played rugby for many years. Played on the men's league here in Red Deer. Had an awesome time with it, but I kind of missed the structure of football. I mean, I have a love for both sports. I mean, they're
Mhm.
both part of my life. But I don't know. I just think I missed the being able to have a nice play and then have the time to decompress and realize that you did something special. Whereas rugby, it never stops. Anything that you do that's amazing or outstanding is overshadowed by the wheezing in your breath as you run to get in position for the next grouping. You never get to pat yourself on the back, where football we kind of get to at least like give grunts to each other saying like, oh, hey, look, you did something.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I came
Mhm.
back. Luke Green was a big reason why I ended up coming back to the Bucks. He's always been pestering me. So
Mhm.
came back last year. Well, I came to for the first time last year, but I wasn't going to go back to being a lineman. So I went over to running back, and I think when I showed up for that first winter camp last year, like, so what do you play? And I was like, running back. And I think everyone looked at me like I'm an idiot. Like, you don't belong here, boy. But no, you guys, I don't know, you had to teach me a lot. I didn't really, I forgot all the rules of football. I think even even when I got my first touchdown in our season, I still went to the center of the end zone and touched the ball down, which is
Yeah.
embarrassing. But I pulled
Yeah.
that one off. So
Yeah, the
I was
rugby touch, yeah, that's
I was
good.
doing a lot of I was doing a lot of different, rugby style football, which I don't know, it worked out sometimes, but it was definitely a blunt object. Like there was no finesse to what I was doing out there. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm excited for this year because I took a lot from last year, and I mean, started doing some more training to try and make myself a little more agile and light on my feet instead of stomping around. Because you don't even need to have your eyes open to find me on the field. You just need to listen.
Yeah.
I'm just loud, dude. I'm not like
Yeah.
nothing that's like gentle or finesse about what I'm doing out there. So
Yeah.
I've been working on that. So I went and bought new football cleats. So I mean that's gonna be a game changer. I'm pretty sure that's what was holding me back.
Eh, okay, hold on, have you worn those cleats in practice yet?
Yeah. Yeah, the
Okay, cool.
last practice, when I was doing really good.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just gonna say, we had a great practice for our running backs last time. You and Dave Simons were just lighting up the defense, so those new cleats are working already. You know what we need you to get, Tony, and don't take this personally, but we need you to get some new gloves. 'Cause, them hands, I wanna throw you the football a little bit, so get those rugby hands, No, that's great, and I think, you came in and you were, the top 3 rushers last year. We had 2 of the top 3s with you leading the way to Gavin, and you also had, about 400 yards yourself rushing, so I expect that to be, even more this year, and I expect us to get you the ball a lot more, and I'm really excited. We'll talk a little bit about what we're gonna be about this year, but I'm excited for our rushing attack, in general with the people that we have. Omari, any questions for Tony?
I just wanted to say because like definitely with seeing you run the ball, because I was on the sideline here. Fortunately, I didn't have to tackle you, which is great. Um, but I could definitely tell like on the side, I was like, there's like that rawness and ferocity with the way that you run, which I'm just like, man, like this guy, like I knew there's like an extra element of like another sport there, and rugby makes complete sense. And the I guess people won't see it here, but on our recording platform, we now have video, and I can see how Tony's literally taking up the entire bottom part of it just with his shoulders. So the guy's very ready to go. The guy's very ready to go. And we're coming back to football. Like, I want to talk about those like first couple of plays that you had, and just getting back in swing a bit. Like, you know, what were your thoughts on your first drive back playing football? Like, I guess it must have been against Airdrie and that first game there. What were kind of your first thoughts going through that drive?
Man, honestly, it was just I was trying to figure out which arm I lift up to receive the ball. Like, dude, this is no joke. This is how basic it was. I'm thinking about it, and I'm dyslexic, so I'm like, I got my hands up, and I'm trying to figure out which one looks like an L, so I know what direction I'm running, and then I got that one landed,
Oh,
and then
fuck.
I'm sitting there, I'm trying to figure out which arm I raise so that I don't screw this up. And yeah, no, I had a bunch of jitters the first time I like took the field in an actual game, being in a position that was, you know, I had the possibility of really screwing up, but the jitters went away as soon as we had that first play. And then the first game we had, that's when Roach was still with me. So it was, me and Roach in like a split back, dude. It was like two cavemen communicating to each other. We're dude, everyone else is trying to figure out like how to actually, skillfully play this game. And me and Roach are looking at each other like ooga booga.
Oh, man. For those that don't know, yeah, John Roach was, yeah, played fullback. Unfortunately, he had a couple injury issues, but yeah, that was That is a great way to describe you and Roach, and that was especially in that first couple of games. Ooga booga.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man, it was
that
yeah.
was
Me and
so
Roach,
good.
we had like a love at first sight relationship where it was like,
Yeah.
you gym protein gym,
Yeah.
and we communicated like on like a very like complicated complex platform where no one really understood us, but we knew everything.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was good.
That's so funny. And like I can imagine you guys just being in the backfield, like I don't say like, oh, bench press, incline bench, okay, and then just like
That's
blow,
basically it.
blow someone up and be like, nice form or like nice deadlift, or,
Yeah.
oh, that's hilarious. And so, one question for you now, going into now this second year, what's the goal for you now that you have that you're hunting down or saying, okay, I we built up this first year, we took care of that back in swing rate. Hey, second year, let's see what damage we can do, and what are some things that are on your mind for that?
Man, lots. That's actually a really good question. There's a lot that's different for me this year than last. Like I really fell in love with the team last year. Not just the game, but everyone we were playing with, and we just had such a good vibe between everyone. So, you know, as a team member, I ended up joining the board for Bucks. So we've been working on sponsorships and trying to create the infrastructure to build this team up a little bit and hopefully get some more change coming into our team so we can afford the nice jerseys and everything like that. So that was a big jump that I took into things, and I'm really enjoying it. We're doing a lot of cool stuff this year, stuff that we've never really done. And then as a player, man, I just didn't. I want to participate more than just being the inside run dive person, because like yeah, head injury is a thing, man. Like I can't be the hammer all the time. Like I know I look a certain way, and how dare you objectify my body, but so
Tony does have some body dysmorphia issues. We've talked about this already this year, so.
well, so yeah, this like in the off season, I'm thinking about how to train for this thing, and all I could think about was like strength training. So I got my bench up, I got squat going, deadlift, but I also had to try and integrate some speed training. But like speed coaches are expensive these days in this economy. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So what I've been doing in my neighborhood is in the mornings I'll get my cleats on and I'll go find the newspapers, and then I steal people's newspapers and get them to chase me. So far, no one's caught me, and it's improved my game. And with all these stolen newspapers, that's how I'm
What?
affording these brand new cleats. So
What? Yeah, so you're running away from old people. They're like only old people are chasing after you for their damn newspaper. Get back here.
hey man, it's called confidence booster. All right.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, that's good. What are your personal goals this year as far as so obviously you want to be more, I think, diverse in your skill set. Like I want you to be like, when I think about the things that would make you dynamic, but outside of running up the middle, which I think you're an easy 3 to 5 yard every carry guy. But getting you outside the tackles and also involving you in the pass game, is that something you're also looking to do for yourself?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm that's kind of what I want to be doing. I want to start, having cuz I don't know. I think that the way that we're going to need to move the ball for our team this year is everyone is going to have a, kind of dynamic ability to them. I mean, we have a good-hearted team, a lot of good, strong players, but I really do think that we're kind of this jack of all trades team, which I like as long as we play to that, as long as we don't get egos in the way and everyone just pitches in whatever like capacity we need them to. I think that we're going to have a really good season. So, kind of trying to be that Swiss Army knife for the team of being able to do multiple things rather than as soon as you see Tony in the backfield, it's going to be an inside run. I want to be able to switch things up a little bit so we're not very predictable. And I think that's kind of um, you know what the mindset of the entire team is kind of moving forward.
Yeah, and I agree with you there, and so I think that summed up our team so far pretty good. So, for me, I weighed for a long time whether or not I was going to go back to the Bucks. There was a lot of things going through my mind. The opportunity to win. I talked a little bit to the Calgary Gators. I talked a little bit to the Airdrie Irish, a little bit, kind of exploring some options. For me, ultimately, I decided that it, when I played that 1 year for the Wolfpack, I had a lot of fun. But at the end of the day, for me, like but the Bucks are in my blood, and I've been a Buck now. This will be my 13th year, being a Buck, and it's something special about, regardless of, how people think. I think, people probably think we're going to be like a bottom feeding team this year. We've been quiet on social media. We haven't signed all these guys from the States, and we haven't, handed out visas and prepaid gift cards and all this stuff that allegedly maybe some other teams are doing. We have a group of people that are Central Alberta, born and raised, played football here. I get to play with like 10 kids that I've coached since they were young. And so it really, for me, came down to that. And also, like you mentioned, Tony, there's a certain vibe to our group. I've played on some bad, toxic Bucks teams in my past where there wasn't a great vibe. Um, and I think last year was really fun. It was a really good atmosphere. I had to do a lot of coaching last year, which I didn't like. I wanted to just be a player. But we couldn't really find, committed coaches. And that was a big thing for me in talking to the Bucks board this year was I need to know that there's going to be coaches there. So I'm not having to run practices or, last year, and I think I've talked about this before, but I was the de facto offensive coordinator while playing receiver. So I was running 40-yard corner routes and then having to run back to the huddle and then figure out what play to call, which is almost impossible to do because your brain just can't keep up with that.
Mhm.
And so I know this year we've got a more stable group of people, between Dan Johnson, Jeff Rambo, Jeremy Breitenbach, to come and do that. So I feel good about that. But it really does come down to the vibe and the people. And every time I walk into that locker room for practice, it's good people across the board. Our we're lacking in offensive linemen, but the offensive linemen that we do have are like funny people and good people to hang around. And I think that really nails it on the head. It's just a really good group, and I look forward to practices, and I've enjoyed it so far. And I think we're going to surprise some people because I think we're going to be a team that's built on possessing the football. We're going to be a team that runs the ball a lot. I'm not trying to give away any secrets, but that just is what it's going to be. So for those that don't know, our quarterback this year is a pretty handsome fella, speedy guy, and a local podcast host. So I'm going to be stepping into a new realm. Jokes aside, stepping into a new realm of playing quarterback this year, and it's something I did in high school. I played a little bit of quarterback in high school, and I haven't done it since then, so I'm quite nervous about it, to be honest with you. But I think we're doing a good job of setting up our offense to play to my strengths. And defenses are going to have to respect the fact that I'm going to run the football, and I'm faster than any linebacker in this league. I'm faster than any DB in this league, and I'm faster than any D lineman in the league. And on top of that, we've got a three-headed monster in our backfield. So I want to talk a little bit about that. We've got yourself, obviously. We've got David Simons, who was a linebacker last year and is going to transition to fullback / running back this year, and he's been looking real nice. And he is not quite as tall as Tony, but he is thick, he is strong, and he is powerful. And then we've got this kid who I coached in Sylvan Lake, named Warren, and look out for him because he is going to make some noise this year in the Alberta Football League. This is a kid who is built, is strong, is tough, but is extremely quick and extremely agile and reads the holes and reads the plays. And between you three guys and then myself in the backfield, that's four guys on any play that can run the football. And there's a lot of creative stuff we can do. And on top of that, we have good receivers across the board. Our quarterback from last year, Brett Bilsma, has decided to he wants to play receiver, which is we're basically trading spots. Quarterback was not something I wanted to do, but Brett wanted to play receiver, and so we kind of decided that like let's try to make this work and let's run an offense that's going to be built to my strengths as a quarterback and our strengths as the running back. We have 3 great running backs, and then Brett wants to play receiver, and Brett is a very good athlete and is going to make some noise. We've got Ruben Brayton back. We've got Josh Weeb, who had a great season last year. Spencer Henderson, you guys are going to get used to that name. He's a great little quick. He's also a guy that can play running back. So we really kind of have 4 dudes that can play running back at a high level, but he can play a nice little inside slot. And we've got Devin Klumpenhauer, who's a Edmonton Wildcats player who's going to join us for the regular season. So we've got some good pieces, and we've been short on O-linemen, but we did have 7 guys show up the other day, and I think those guys are committed and they looked good. So once we kind of get into the flow of things, I'm excited to surprise some people this year, and I don't think that teams necessarily are going to want to play against us when push comes to shove, because I think we're going to beat the crap out of a lot of teams with the way that we run the football, the way that we're able to set up our offense to be something where outside linebackers specifically have to be aware of what's going on in the backfield and have to account for a running quarterback. So I'm excited to see how we go. What are your thoughts on that, Tony?
Yeah, man. I think what's going to come down to it is our team is going to be very, I think we're going to be very infuriating to play against. I really think it's going to I think we're going to get into a lot of people's heads because, I hear a lot, I see a lot and I hear a lot from, social media and from other players, oh, this team has this guy and oh, there's this group and, this team's always been good at this one thing. And, so like they have kind of these,
What's going on?
not egos, but they have these attributes that they're known for. Whereas us, we got plumbers and framers and guys that work concrete, and we're all just throwing on football gear and we're just running out there. And hidden in there, we have some like really talented, really really talented people. So it's going to be more like like the Ewoks. Like they never really could stomp out the Ewoks. They kind of just kept on coming relentlessly. And I think as long as we keep up this, positive attitude that we have and this huge morale, I don't think any team is going to really be able to stomp us out to a point where we would ever quit or stop coming at them. So I think we're going to be a team that consistently plays every single quarter of that game. And in this league, I think that hard work can really trump talent a lot of the times. And I don't know, we have a hardworking team.
I like I like the sounds of everything I'm hearing with that, and the one key word that you said, Tony, was being an infuriating team, to where it's just like you're just like that. Like I get that very like not to say anything, but like not to say anything on the downside, but like a pest, like kind of like a pesty kind of feeling where like, oh, like they're in this formation again or at the same play, we just can't seem to stop the 3, 4, 5, 6 yards that they're always getting. And you know, especially where you guys aren't gonna have the egos to go with it, where I think you're all on the same page. And I think if everyone gets their shot of protein, cup of concrete, all set to go.
Yeah, no, that's true, man. I honestly think that's going to be, something that you're going to see in our season is it's going to be a very, we're going to find what works against a team, and then we're just going to keep hitting and hitting and hitting and hitting until when they see us line up, they know what we're going to run. They'll see the formation is going to be like right as rain of what we're going to do. And I just want to look across and just see some eyes. I want to see like the really like, oh, please, I could be at home. I could be, I have a hot tub. I got a jacuzzi back in Calgary. I got, women back in Edmonton that I could be at. Why am I in central Alberta getting beaten the shit out of by these fucking Ewoks? And we're just going to keep on hitting. And I think that's the secret weapon, my guy.
That's so funny. I got straight David Goggins like taking their souls kind of vibe where you're just like, who's gonna lift the boats? Who's gonna carry the ball? Who's gonna carry the ball? Oh, 2-2. Whatever you say. Oh man.
Yeah, that's really good. And that's you're getting me pumped up right now, Tony. So that's great. I love to hear it. And Tony's really good at that. He's kind of our resident pump guy. Tony, was it you or Roach that was a smelling salt guy last year? I think it was Roach. Or did
Oh
you
my
partake in
god,
it?
dude! I can't even remember my social insurance number. Holy shit! I swear to God, Roach got me on it because Roach was like, "Oh hey, like ooga booga, come here," and he's like, he got like one handful of crayons and the other handful of smelling salts. So we we ate like 3 or 4 crayons. I couldn't even like taste the purple, and
What
then
the
we just
hell?
inhaled smelling salts until our eyes started to vibrate, and then we just went out. And I think that's why we couldn't. That's why we were communicating differently than everyone else. Is because
Little
we
telepathy.
completely. Oh my god, our brains
Love
were hyperoxygenated. We were
Oh,
living.
man. I could
Um,
Oh man.
yeah,
yeah,
smelling salts. I
I'm
tried
actually
it
real.
once
I'm
as a
really
kid.
excited to get back into that. Yeah, I had to go to rehab for smelling salts, so I'm excited to relapse.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh
football's
man.
worth it. Oh, man, that's so good.
So yeah, I wanna dive into one area that I feel like us as both the Bucks and myself as the Wolf Pack, I think we've experienced from. I feel like this the new team in Kyrie, the Gators have taken a chunk out of our personnel on both ends and everything. And I feel like I'm sure myself and TJ, I think we've given our comments there. And any comments you want to add to that, just as a player and what you've seen and anything you want to say to that? Because I feel like everyone's gonna have to say. Because I think that nice thing we have is that transfer portal in the Facebook chat, so we're all seeing different movements and kind of cool, legitimized. But it's been, I'm sure, as someone who leads the team, you're like, man, it's tough to see guys go, and if they go for the better, they go for different situations. I know some guys have the right reasons, and some have different reasons, whatever it is. But what's your thoughts and being someone new to the game of football, or I guess back to the Bucks and seeing what you're trying to build. Any comments there?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I was always big for adding new teams to this league, just because I think the league has such like high quality football that we could really build this entire league up to something that we can get more attention to. And so I'm always for more teams. I don't care if it hurts, the quality of players that come back to me every year. I just want more people to play against. And man, I'm just excited to see all the people, like the people that did leave my team, those fucking bastards. No, I'm joking.
Oh,
I'm all
you got
good.
Tony
I'm
mad,
excited.
boys.
No, I'm excited to see them all, man. Like I have no hard feelings for any of that. Like I'm just excited for this exhibition game to see some familiar faces, catch up with some people. But um, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be nice to just be able to actually run full speed at some of the people that I practiced with over the last year and see what happens.
You on the field, you like that. You like have your crayons and I have it like between your gloves like Wolverine. Like, all right, which one do you want?
Yeah, exactly. I got like a hitman list of people that left our team to
Mhm.
go over. It's all written in like blue crayon, but it's all spelled wrong, like phonetic spelling.
You just have it written on your arm like no regrets.
You know
Yeah,
what?
exactly.
Yeah, Brett Mercier, he'll be playing defense for the Gators, and so look out, Brett. Tony's coming for you. Xavier probably just play offense. I won't see a lot of Tony. Travis Dietrich, you're gonna have to deal with it too. So it should be interesting. In the exhibition game, you guys aren't allowed to touch the quarterback, so leave me the fuck alone. I ain't about to get. I don't want to get hurt. I got golf to play all year, so um, I will be just so everybody knows, so you can all call me a pussy later on in the year. But I will be sliding, running out of bounds, and throwing the ball away on the regular if it means not getting hurt, because I got golf to play and I'm not about that life. So Tony, on the other hand, he can take the hits a little bit more than I can. So get it out of your systems. Every fucking year I hear this shit. Okay, it's like I'll run out of bounds. Oh, you're a pussy. Yeah, you know what? It's a business decision. Okay. I'm gonna do what's smart for my body. I'm not on the smelling salts. I'm not fucking crazy like Tony. I don't got that attitude or the energy. Everybody get it out of your system right now. Tej is a pussy. He doesn't want to get hit. Blah, 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 blah. But I will say this. I play every single game. I've missed 2 games in my 15-year AFL career. So I mean, you guys can suck on that dick because that is the true test of character right there, staying healthy and being able to produce for my team. So get it out of your systems now because that's and come up with something new, by the way. Edmonton Elite. Okay, come up with something new. Yeah, we get it. Okay, I don't want to get hit. I get it. I understand that. Okay, get it out of your system. I don't want to hear it anymore. And by the way, I got Tony now as my backup. Okay, so I will sick him on you guys. So, and Tony is the resident. Tony is the resident bodyguard of all of us. So we're all a little bit tougher with Tony in the room because we know he's out there somewhere. Even though Tony, here's the reality.
I don't even do anything. I just run behind you and yell at you.
Like, yes, this is a true thing. This is a true story. One time I was making a block for Tony and he was so excited mid play. He was just like, "Fuck yeah, Teach! Fuck yeah!" The play was going on, and I'm like, all I'm doing is making a block. He's running, the play is still going, and I hear this behind me. That's one of the greatest football stories I've ever heard. But you know what's funny, Tony? I've actually, as intimidating as a human being you are, you might also be one of the nicest people I've known. I've never actually seen you get angry. So I want to ask you, do you ever get angry?
You know what the secret is? I'm always angry.
Okay, yeah.
No, man, I don't know. I got a long fuse. Fuck.
Yeah.
I think the only thing is like some people don't know when they've lit it. That's the only problem. It's long as hell, but like I'm poker faced right until the point when I'm gonna explode on someone. But I usually will just walk away. I mean, that's what my therapist tells me to do, anyways.
Yeah, exactly. No,
court ordered. So I'm not a puss.
Oh man, yeah,
I don't
exactly.
talk about my
That's
feelings
right.
until a judge tells me to.
Yeah, exactly. Oh
No.
my god.
I got someone here. So last year, so I guess this is awesome now because like I knew of your number and like of like of your play and getting to see you here. So I want to hear your thoughts here because Tej gave his thoughts last year when the All-Star.
Oh my god, you're gonna go into this.
This is now where like this is now where like I know I got first for full, but you got second, but like I was definitely not expecting it. And so I want to hear your thoughts on like, did you feel like you got snubbed? Did you feel like I guess, explain your thoughts there. Cause I feel like we all feel like we got snubbed at some point, but
about the All-Star thing last year.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wish I had more to comment about it, but I didn't even really know what that meant. People were just telling me like, "Oh, hey, check this out, Tony. Like, good for you." And I'm like, "Oh, like, okay, like, who do I talk to now? Like, what do I do with this?" Like, I'm trying to figure out. I thought I had to like follow up. Like, I was figuring out how to go like suit shopping. So like, I was I was like a dog. Man, that's the thing is like, I love awards, but I'm a dog chasing cars, man. If I ever get one, I don't know what to do with.
You me both. You me both.
That's good.
Because it's because I remember teasing. Cause funny if I knew, but I was like told like, there was gonna be the release for it, and T's going off and like who the fuck is number one? Who won? And I was like, yo, it's me. Like, I'm not. Because I feel like we both had different like in like we both contributed differently to our team. Where like you definitely got the yards and like you were you were like the ultimate like absolute like Tasmanian devil to take down, and then like I feel for myself like from what I later found out they did it as like the hybrid role where like you play different areas. So this is now where I feel like I didn't get the many. My last year wasn't a very stat heavy year for me, but I was fulfilling in like a bunch of spots where I was like, hey, I was a receiver and then slot and tail and all over, and I guess that's what worked out there.
That's what was confusing to me because I was like, I didn't consider you as a fullback, Omari, when they were getting that word. I had zero idea that I was going to go to you. I was like, who the fuck else is a fullback? And I was so confused because like I've always viewed you as a skill player, right? As a receiver, as a tailback. You played a little bit of defensive end. So I was just like, I don't even know who else played true fullback. So that was what was kind of confusing to me. But we got to figure that out in a little bit of a way. I feel like because Tony this year, and you guys will see it when we start playing, but I wouldn't even say or consider that he's going to be a fullback. I think we're going to have a three-man running back situation where we just have two running backs, but neither one is a fullback. Because here's the reality, right? What fullback carries the ball 50 times for 400 yards? Like, that's not a fullback stat line, and that's what Tony does, and that's what all our running backs are going to have massive amount of carries and hopefully massive amount of yards. So I think we get rid of the fullback altogether from the awards and just add like you said, Omari, just add like instead of fullback, it's like that hybrid, because Tony wants to be more than just a run up the A gap guy anyway. So I think that we need to maybe look into that. Fullback's kind of like that old school mentality, I think.
Yeah, it's not like that train that old train mentality where it's just like up like halfback gut or fullback gut right up the middle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but I guess
No
we'll see how
longer.
it we'll see how it goes with next year and everything. Like, and I guess to follow up with that too, do you now go into this upcoming season with that expectation of like, hey, I gotta defend my so-called all-star title, or is it like a whole fresh slate? Whatever happens. I'm here for team first.
Yeah, no, man, I wish I was that kind of person. Like, I wish I knew that much to actually defend these titles. But like I said, man, I didn't know that I wanted. I didn't know anything about it. Man, I'm just going out there because I'm a sick person, and I need that outlet. Like, I
Therapist
don't.
ordered.
Like, I need to have that team. I need to have the contact sports. I need that in my life to stay balanced. And so that's why I do it. Like, I love to win. I'm very competitive. But I'm not here to catch a title. I'm not here to win an award. I'm here to do whatever my team needs, and I'm here to just try and pitch in wherever I can.
Nice. And this is now a question for all of us here. How much do you think football as a whole robs therapists of revenue?
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a fantastic question. Well, for Tony, it definitely does, apparently. But apparently he still sees his therapist, so it might be a little bit back and forth. But what an interesting question. Yeah, that is I think that if I were to I could probably write a whole essay on that question, honestly, Omari, because for me in my life, like football has been a lifesaver, and not just playing it, but coaching it and giving back to my community and the kids that I coach. And that, I mean, that what a I had no idea you were going to ask that question. And what a perplexing question. I literally think I could write an entire thesis on that. How much money does football take away from therapists? Because I think a lot of us who play this game, especially still, do it for mental health reasons, for sure, for an outlet, for a way to be around people, for a way to release energy that's stored up, especially in Alberta when we are like so kind of stagnant in the wintertime and we can't get outside as much. Wow. Yeah. Wow. What an interesting question.
Now, I want to put that to our listeners, where I guess wherever you're listening, if it's on, you know, Apple Music, Spotify, or YouTube, like comment like how much you think, or like in the Facebook chat when it on in the group when it goes up, like post what you think we rob therapists from, and then go from there. Because I feel like that's a question where just hearing Tony, you speak and everything, and how you just want to be a part of the guys and the team and everything. Like I think I think you speak for a lot of guys where it's just being able to have that as an outlet is massive. Because I feel the exact same way, where being able to go to practice and have those moments in practice, then go to the game and compete at a high level. And I feel like I definitely find I go into the summer season very balanced versus the winter, where I'm like, I feel like I'm cooped up. I gotta make sure I hit the gym, where it's a nice release. Which fortunately in our release here in football, where you can do things to people that you can't do on a you can't go to the mall and do. You can't go and run someone over, where versus on the on the turf field, outlines the field, you're completely legally able to do so.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I actually have a story about that, but I'll try and keep it short. But just the therapy of football is, even when I did have that short stint of playing football in high school, we had one of our head coach, Blair Murray, and he was an outstanding guy. He understood that when we were in high school that coaching us was more about just teaching us how to play a game. He was teaching us about how to be a man, really, and sucking up the difficult parts and actually pushing through adversity and everything. Like, he taught us a lot about character. Yeah, and unfortunately, he ended up passing away like during our season, and
Oh,
it
wow.
hit us hard. I mean, but I remember that day. We all came into school that day. They pulled the entire team into the one office, and the counselor came down and kind of delivered the news. We all knew that Blair was having some, health issues, but we were kids. We thought he was pulling through for sure. We got told the news from the counselor that he passed away that um, the evening before, and it was just silence. There was no you could hear a pin drop in that room, and no one really knew how to navigate anything. And so counselor, he didn't know what to say to any of us. It was a complicated situation, and I can't remember who it was. I think it was Cody Hawks. He played on our team. He just said like, "Can I get a football? Can we do something like that?" And then yeah, we just opened up the equipment room, grabbed some footballs, and we went out during a school day early in the morning. I still remember the sunlight was still just peeking up in a sunrise just over top of the trees. And we just went out and practiced. We played football that entire day. We didn't stop. And, it was one of
Wow.
those cathartic moments of my life that I mean, I look back on it numerous times. And, that happened back when I was in grade 11, I think. And
Mhm.
it's just one of those like iconic moments for me. And so, without football, I don't know if I wouldn't have learned those life lessons that, mean so much to me. And two, I don't know if how I would have got through that situation. And it gave me different coping mechanisms that I still carry through in my life today. Like I know that whenever I'm struggling with anything, I know that physical activity is always my number one go to. That's why I'm so big. I've been through so many breakups that I just keep putting fucking muscle onto my body because bigger muscles make us stronger. And so, I mean, no, I'm coping. I'm coping. But yeah, no, I mean, trying to make it a funnier way to end that story. God.
Well,
But
hey, thanks for sharing that, man. That's obviously, it's one of those things where it strikes me when you say I can still remember that day, and I'm sure you remember that day like it was yesterday, because I think we all kind of have those moments in our lives that don't go away. They always just kind of sit front of mind, and those are the kind of moments that you can you know, draw to when, like you said, when you're going through a tough moment in your life, you can draw back to that and be like, you know what? I got through that. I have the strength to get through that. I have the ability to get through that. I know how to get through that because I've gone through that before. And what a powerful story. And that's we like to keep things light on the podcast, but that stuff is important too. It's important to discuss that type of stuff because I think it's super relatable to probably most people listening. So I appreciate you sharing that, man. Thank you.
That's huge. Um, and I guess now to bring it back into AFL side of things. I guess what are some things that the Bucks as an organization is working on just to really bring home? Because obviously you guys have the the title best fans. I believe I know there's some other teams that would like to fight you guys for that. So when it comes to the fans and that like viewership experience, what are you guys plan to add to that? Hold the title there? What are some things you're looking to add or just really maintain that? Because I know teams like Cold Lake, Grandparent, they're really fighting for that title, and it's good. It's a great title to fight for because it means that we're putting on a good product for people to come out to, and I really feel you guys lead the way in that area, or have a
Yeah,
very
no,
good.
the reality is, man, like those teams can say all that they want about best fans, but you know, the Bucks have been doing it for 22 years, and you you have to knock down the champ to become the champ. And as far as fan engagement and what we do in Central Alberta, and I've played in every city. I've played in every city, and there are some good fans in certain places. But Cold Lake's got some good fans, but they've only been around for 5 years. Talk to me 15 years down the road if they even still have a team, and if those fans are still coming. And I hope they are. I want the league to grow, but there's no other place that I'd rather play than Central Alberta, whether we're playing in Lacombe or Red Deer. We don't just get, family and friends. We get legit fans of the team. And the thing for me is I think we can do better. We do a great job, but I still think we can do better. I think that we have an untapped potential in our market of being such a long-standing team. I think in the past we've taken for granted a little bit the fact that we are well known and that people come to our games, and we've kind of been a little bit lazy maybe in the past with like going out there and continuing to rise up or to raise up our notoriety within Central Alberta. But when you got people like Tony that are a new player on the team and that's excited and he's coming on the board, and we have a new board this year that is taking over and trying to learn some different things. I believe it can get so much better, I think. And it's the same with the Alberta Football League in general. There's so much untapped potential, but our team is unlike a team like Cold Lake that brings in a bunch of guys from the States, or unlike a team like Edmonton that's signing all these overseas recruits. We have a team of local kids that have local families and local friends and that want to come play and want to come watch us. So there's something special and magical about our team here in Central Alberta when it comes to the fans and the people that we have. And I think it's unmatched. Obviously, I'm biased, but I think that I back it up with the evidence that we have, and I think it's just going to go up from here. What are your thoughts, Tony? Your first year playing on the Bucs, what did you kind of experience with that? And what are your kind of goals moving forward as a board member of the team of really like reaching more people?
Yeah, man. So when we're talking about fans and bringing up the name of the Bucks, so joining the board this year, I've been a part of a lot of different boards. I mean, with my company, to market myself and to network, I join boards all the time. So I'm quite familiar with it. And joining the Bucks board this year, it's so much fun. I absolutely love it because it's wacky. It's not something that I have to worry about jeopardizing my career or my kind of reputation in the community. It's for a men's football team. I give them the ideas that I can come up with and get and get the green flag on running are completely something that's out of the normal for me, and I absolutely love it. And here I'm gonna give you one of my big ideas. I'm gonna put it on the podcast. And
Please.
I swear if someone steals it, oh man, I'll be so mad. But hopefully this helps get the green light so that we can do this, because I've been advocating for this so much. So I wanted to raise money for the team and as well get some more eyes on the team this year. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to do a car wash. I want to do a sexy car wash for the football team. And
You
so
would.
we were going to dealerships so that people could drive in with their dirty, disgusting cars and, maybe check out some brand new vehicles. And so we were going to get a dealership to sponsor the whole thing. And what we were going to do, we were going to have 2 car wash packages that you could pay for. So for $5, you can get a basic wash. Basic wash, you pull into that line and it's our hoggies. It's the big boys. Like we're gonna scrub you down with our guts. It's gonna look hot and sexy, but you're gonna get a dent in your car, guaranteed. And then for the deluxe package, that it's 15, $20, whatever it is. But then that's where we get all our like brand new like 21-year-olds in like crop tops, and we just we basically whore them out for the for the team. So like we get Edna, the 80-year-old that drives her Buick in, and then we take Brett Bilsma, and he just has to hop in the passenger seat and take a drive. But I thought that would be hilarious because
Oh my
who does that
god.
in Central Alberta? I've never heard of a sexy car wash either by a female organization or a male organization. So that's one. And I got man, I have a notebook. I have a dream journal of everything
Oh, I
I've
love that.
wanted to push to get more attention to this team.
Dream
So
journal. I love that. Hold on. Can you imagine? So I know a lot of people don't know Brett Bilsma, but I know Brett Bilsma pretty well. Brett Bilsma is a pretty shy guy. And if we can convince him to take an 80-year-old cougar for a nice ride and wash the car half naked, we are winning at life at that point. So
honestly, yeah, it's bigger than the league at
so
that
good.
point.
Yeah. Oh my god. I love it. And I love that you call it a dream journal. That's so good.
Hey, he come back from that ride and be like, "Hey guys, fees are covered for the whole year."
Brett.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god. Brett would come back from that ride and he would look shell shocked. He might not like
That's the only time
he
when football would cause more therapy.
Yeah, exactly. Brett would be straight to the therapist's office after that. We'd be like, "Thank you, Brett, for your service." Oh my god. I know Brett's listening now too, so he's probably dying right. Oh, that's so funny. I am totally down though, man. I've been hitting the gym pretty hard too. I've always had a decent six pack, so I'm willing. $15 seems like a good price. I gotta make sure my wife's okay with it, but I think she would be.
$15 is $15, my man.
Yeah,
No, but I
exactly.
don't know. There's lots we can do where we don't have to sell our bodies. I mean, it's so much easier. I mean, that's been
Yeah.
the oldest industries in the world. But
Oh my god.
Wait, so you tell me
Oh.
there's no like Central Bucks OnlyFans or anything like that?
Oh no, that's in the dream journal for sure. That is in Tony's dream journal for
that's
sure. Can you
hilarious.
imagine?
You guys were
Bucks
always bugging me about
OnlyFans.
that.
Oh no.
Jesus.
This like
Tony might have his own.
it'd be like end of the season, Bucks like, yep, everything's already prepaid. We paid out next 5 years of expenses. Come pay your $50 for fees because you have to pay some, but everything's a prepaid. You're like, where's the money coming from?
Bucks show up with brand new jerseys game one. Or like, whoa, wow, I thought we had no money. Yeah. Wow.
You guys are gonna like, see us on the line and you'll be like, oh man, like they got brand new everything. Wow, but you're just gonna see the shame. Just the glaring shame
Yeah.
looking back at you. And
That's the word
gonna-
I was looking for. Yeah. The absolute shame. Oh my god. Well, Tony, keep working on that dream journal because I think I'm a big believer in manifesting and in the universe and putting stuff out there. So dream journal's right up my alley. And hey, anything to kind of get more eyes on the team, I think is a genius. So I back that. And yeah, don't steal our ideas, or Tony and his smelling salt to come after you. Omari, anything else for us about the Bucs before we sign off?
I think just I know for Wolfpack we get you guys week 1, which I think is gonna be a great game there, just to for us to really get really get the ball rolling. And it was a nice drive for us. You guys are home for there, and I feel like other teams, I know Gators have to travel, Edmonton have to travel. So I mean, like I think for week 1, we're quite happy with that. So we're looking forward to seeing you guys there. Question wise, I believe that's everything for me. I guess now is just a big thing on just really trying to, or I guess here's one question I got. Here's one question I got that we get to ask. What's like the team thing that as a Bucks that when they really, if anything here, let's open the floor up to have you guys sell yourself, because I guess the question I was gonna ask was going to tie into this, but I want to have Tony here sell the Bucks, and then Tej the vet to wrap it up there, just because I want to open the floor there to let you guys do that. So Tony, sell the fans here for all those listening in on why the Bucks and everything, and then Tej will bring it home.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know, man. It's the Bucks. what we're gonna be this year is we're gonna be a team that you could watch us every you can come to every single one of our games. It will never be the same game that you see. Players are gonna be moving around. We're always gonna have fresh new faces, and we're gonna be playing that filthy game of football that, like I said, is just gonna be infuriating to all the other teams, and um, it's going to be a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, mainly from Brett after we've sold him numerous times to cover fees. But we're not going to talk about the dark side of the team in our sales pitch. So, no, we're going to have our beer gardens is going to be ripping and rolling this year. We got concession hot dogs. Tej said it a couple times that our line is looking a little light, but we have some guys showing up, and I have head hunting for Kentucky Fried Chicken buckets. That if you come join our team and you're over 220 pounds, I'll give you like 3 buckets of chicken to come play on the line. I'm not even joking. I'll do that easily.
No, hell no. I'm in on that too, buddy. We'll start a fund for that. That's what Brett will pay for with his car wash money. We'll just buy Kentucky Fried Chicken for the big boys. Yeah.
Yeah, man. But yeah, that's all I got to say about the team. I'm really excited about this year, and I think it's going to be one to watch for sure.
Yeah, for me, it's so we're pretty deep, honestly, in a lot of positions. Our defensive backs are, I've coached. Let me quickly count: 1, 2, 3, 4 of our starting DBs I've coached throughout high school. So, I people always want to say humble brag, but fuck that. That's a weird thing. So a brag, I think I'm a pretty good coach. I think I've coached those guys up pretty good. So I think our DBs are going to be really good. So I'm excited to see that. Ethan Mackey is going to come be a really strong Sam linebacker. Um, there's this new guy that came to practice that randomly found out about us. His name's Braden. He's from Ontario. He was working at Source for Sports, heard about us, and he was lighting up practice the other night from a defensive end / will linebacker position. So we're going to be pretty stout. Our defensive line is going to be really good. Jake Payne and Graham are going to be, I think, 2 of the best defensive ends in the league. These are both guys that are over 6 feet tall, 200 plus pounds, super fast, super quick. Our defensive ends are going to be awesome. Our D tackles with Dwight and Curtis, a little bit of Paul action in there. That's going to be awesome. Tony's probably going to play a little bit of Mac backer, a little bit of D-line if we need him, because we're so deep at running back. We have the ability to maybe do that when we need to. Our defense is going to be really good. Our offense is going to be probably take a little bit longer to come together than our defense does. I think it's the case. But once I get comfortable there back at QB, the big thing for me is I learn quickly. I've played this game for a long time. I understand football. I understand defenses. So from that aspect, I can do a good job from the quarterback position, and I'm going to manage the game as best I can, and then try to get the ball quickly into the hands of guys like Tony and Dave and Brett and Ruben and Spencer and Devin and Warren, and like we got a lot of pieces, but what we really do need is offensive linemen. So if you are an offensive lineman and you're around Central Alberta area, or if even you're in Edmonton and Calgary, we've got guys that drive up. You can catch rides. I'm working on maybe a couple incentives that I probably can't say on this podcast, or maybe I'll get sanctioned by the league, but we're going to help you guys out, offensive linemen. Not money. I just want to put this out there. We cannot pay you, but there could be chicken involved. There could be different sorts of services involved. We want you, offensive linemen. So please come join our team, because we're deep in a lot of good places. And the community aspect of it, we do a lot for our community. It's an unbelievable group, an unbelievable organization, unbelievable fans. It is the most fun I ever have in my life, is playing Bucs football. So, and that's why at 30 something years old, I'm still out here playing, because I love it, and I love the team, and I love the people, and it makes me happy. And if you come on our team, I can get you on the podcast. So that's always a fun thing too. We can represent your businesses if you have a business, which is going to segue me right into you, Tony. I'm going to let you talk about yours a little bit here. So what do you do? And sell your business a little bit, because that is also a perk of being on my team.
Just there's yeah. Thanks, man. I appreciate you actually letting me do that.
Of
So yeah,
course.
my company, I run a company called Safe Tracks GPS Canada. We act it's unique. I provide all the ankle bracelets for house arrest across Canada. So I help people that wouldn't normally be able to get bail if they have conditions in their life where they might be a flight risk. If they have the means to leave the country, I provide ankle bracelets so that we can get these individuals out from incarceration and back to their homes. The main driving force for my company and why I do it is you see a lot of 20 something year olds, gang activity, drug charges, whatever it might be, and you take that developing mind and we incarcerate and we
Mhm.
throw the book at it. We lock them up, throw away the key, and then at the end of it, we expect them to be better people because of that experience. But what we've done is we've put them into this university to be a better criminal. I mean, you think they're not networking inside the prisons, and now you've somewhat proven yourself. So you're talking with people inside the court system, and you get more connections on the outside. What I want to do, instead of retribution, I want to rehabilitate these individuals. So I want to get them out of these prisons. I want to get them back with their families. I want to get them a job. I want to get them into treatment centers to deal with whatever the issue is that's causing them to make these decisions. Because I never, yeah, I had a good family. My dad hugged me. My mom said I was a special boy. So I never had to face adversity. And it was quite easy for me to grow up and not, fall into the justice system. But that's a privilege that I had. And a lot of
Mhm.
people, they get dealt very difficult cards. And we just do not have the resources available to assist and to guide everyone. So I'm just trying to do my part to make sure that we can improve the outcome of some of these individuals and it change the indoctrination of that criminality so we can get individuals that believe that my dad was a criminal so I'm going to be a criminal. It's like it's a messed up reverse side of nepotism almost.
Mhm.
But I want people to believe that no, you can do whatever you want, and I want to give those people the possibilities. So that's what we do it with our ankle bracelets. You call, we install, you pay. That's all. Safe Tracks, GPS Canada,
That's great.
and yeah, man.
Cool. And you know what? I'm sure you know what's cool. We've talked a little bit about this. I remember we were golfing last year together in a tournament. We were chatting about this and some of the things. I'm sure you've seen a lot of good things come out of that. And I'm a big believer in that too. I have a younger brother that unfortunately wasn't athletic at all, and I was the older brother and the athlete getting all the awards and praise and stuff from my dad, and he didn't get any of that, and then he ended up down the drug trail and into jail. But I always knew, it was because he didn't get what I was getting. And as a kid, I didn't realize that, right? Like as a kid, I was like, haha, and I rubbed it in his face. I was getting all these awards and he wasn't. And now as an adult, I look back on that, with a lot of regret because he didn't get what I got. He didn't get what I got from my dad. And he ended up with not because he was an inherently bad person. We had, really the same upbringing, besides the fact that I got a lot more attention and praise and love. And so I think we're often quick to judge people in our society based on a decision they made, and we don't really know the story. So I appreciate what you're doing. So if people want to find you, do you have a social media account or is it a website?
Yeah, we're on Facebook. We have an Instagram page, and then our website is just www.safetracksgps.ca.
Safe Tracks GPS. I love it. Appreciate that, man. Okay, well, thanks, Omari. This is a really cool episode. There was a lot of really good laughs, and some kind of emotional talk too. Man, we went through the gambit on this episode. So this was a really cool episode to do. I'm excited for people to listen to it. We'll get this out here early tomorrow morning, hopefully. Tony, appreciate you joining us. It's always a pleasure to see you, man. And I will see you at practice tomorrow. I was originally going to go to Banff, but the weather was a little bit weird, so I'm not going to leave till Friday now. So I'll be at practice tomorrow, and then we've got a sweet game on Saturday. So thank you, man. Thank you for taking your time. Omari, appreciate it. And go ahead and send us out.
Yeah, appreciate everyone tuning in. Tony, thank you for coming on. Looking forward to seeing you on the field. For those who appreciate listening in, from Apple Music, Spotify, iTunes, or Google Podcasts, YouTube, anywhere where you get your podcasts. We appreciate it. Like, subscribe, share. This is definitely something we're looking to grow here and then see as well. And then as well, if you're a business looking at get some added airtime, sponsor time, or marketing on our platform, feel free to reach out. We're always looking for sponsors as we head into this upcoming AFL season where our interactions go up, impressions go up, views go up. Is a great chance to get your business face out there. So feel free to let us know, especially what we can do because we can help customize a package there for you. Again, get your vitamin D in, get your sun in, get your water in. If you need anything, go to the Tej pharmaceutical shop there. You can always get taken care of there. And with that being said, we'll see you guys here all next week. We do plan to have the Jets on Sunday. So Jets listening in, get your 3 to 4 guys you have want to come on. And as I know they love to do, bring the smoke because last episode saying we're two live, laugh, love kind of episodes. So you know what? I feel like we need to up the bit, get some Cajun, get some pepper. I'm gonna bring out the spice rack here, spice things up. So Cole Lake, you're definitely the to do. We know we love it for it, and we'll get Daryl on. He loves to add to the smoke pile. Fire everybody up. That's what we all need. This is the great time. This is all great for marketing. My marketing hat comes on here, and the more we chat, the more the smoke gets tossed around, more people's eyes come in, and hey, you know what? Things look good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and again, like I said, please reach out. This is when we get our most views, and we're really looking to branch out. We've got some cool things on the horizon with some junior teams. So now is a great time to get in. If you're looking to get in for a sponsorship opportunity, please reach out to us on any of our social media profiles. And yeah, we will have the Jets on. Gabe will be on for sure. Our third unofficial podcast host, Gabe. He's been on a bunch of times. We love him. Rayshon Provo is going to join us. Can't wait to talk to him. He's back with the Jets. So that'll be on Sunday. Enjoy your night. Tony, thank you. Omari, thank you. And Tony, I'll see you tomorrow, and have a good night, boys.
All right. See you guys.
See you, boys.
Peace.